Hi, this is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Wednesday! Welcome to Game Day Live, presented by the Let's Go Devils Podcast Network and the Primetime Radio Studios, along with Crew Brew. Welcome to all fans watching on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, wherever it is you get your podcasts. As my name is Vinny Parisi, and I am here with my good friend Shorts Guy as we get you set for New Jersey Devils hockey as they are getting ready for a nationally broadcast game against the Philadelphia Flyers. Shorts Guy, what's up, dude?
Yeah. Not much, man. Just hanging out here, American Whiskey. A lot of friends of the podcast here tonight, so it's a good night. Like you said, a nationally televised broadcast. Max is joining us in the chat from about 5 feet behind me. Max is in the house. Tom's in the house. Ted's in the house. Brooks in the house. We got a lot of people here in the house. I saw Frank the Tank. Saw Kevin. You know, we're all here. We're all having a good time at American Whiskey, hanging out before this nationally broadcast game against the Philadelphia Flyers, who we've not done very well against.
No, 0-2-0 against the Philadelphia Flyers this season. And guess what? They kind of stink. Like, if you look at the standings, they're like way down there. And the Devils are like way up there. So this inability to beat them so far is kind of annoying.
It's annoying, and we're kind of quickly backsliding in the standings, which is not good. You know, we definitely have to right that ship sooner rather than later. I remember a couple weeks ago we were talking about on Game Day Live here that we had a good cushion, and it would take like a lot for the cushion to kind of be shrunk, but it's shrunk. It is effectively shrunk.
It has shrunk a little bit, but you look at the rest of the Eastern Conference. I mean, the Devils are still 10 games over NHL 500, which is better than most teams can say. If they win this game tonight, that will be 3 wins out of 4. So you could probably confirm that they're back. And that game against the Flyers last time. I mean, I'm never really like that optimistic that you're going to score with the goalie pulled to tie it. Like, it very rarely happens. It probably happens twice or 3 times a season. But I kind of was feeling like they were going to in that game. And Jack Hughes played a 4-minute shift to end the game. We've seen him do that before. It was an intense game. I loved the way they played in the third. If they can bring that into this game at home, they should have no problem getting a win. Yeah,
that's the hope. And, you know, what better time than now to, start to right this ship. We're going to see thank you, Katie, with the chug. The chug compliments. Even though the master of the chug, Max, is here and behind me, we have not yet chugged a beer. But, yeah, this would be the perfect time, especially not for nothing. Get a win and get a strong win for Jake Allen so that he goes and starts to build the confidence, because we need to see – he needs the confidence to bring this Devils team forward. So that's really what we need to do for him, because otherwise, like, it's going to be a long slog without Markstrom. And the Devils just need to gather the points now. Like you said, it's frustrating that we haven't been able to beat the Flyers, who are not really a good team. These are those points that you lose here in January, February, and then you rue them in April when your seeding for the playoffs isn't very good.
Yeah, totally. And the Devils, Jake Allen will be in net. They're going to face off against Samuel Ersson, who played very well against the Devils in the last game. He was also named to be Team Sweden's goalie today in place of Jacob Markstrom.
Yes, he was.
So, you wonder if that big game had something to do with, them picking him. But it's going to be a great test. Hopefully they're able to it's hard. I mean, it's hard to win any game in the NHL. I would love to see the Devils come out and play well today. I know Couturier is back in their lineup. The Devils are missing Nico Hischier again. He'll probably, based on the way it sounded today, he went from being day-to-day to week-to-week as of today. They probably just figured, okay, there's 5 of these things left until the Four Nations face off. Let's shut him down for those 5 games. He'll have 2 weeks off after that, too. It'll be about a month without playing to kind of rest whatever it is that's ailing him, and be back for that game against the Dallas Stars on February 22nd. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. You saw a lot of the things that he brings to the table missing from the game against the Philadelphia Flyers. I thought in the first period they were terrible with They're playing their own end. I mean, Nico Heischer's on the ice for a lot of those situations. Penalty kill,
Yeah.
obviously a sore spot because Nico Heischer wins faceoff, wins battles down low. He does things that nobody else on the team can, and there were some glaring holes from him in that game. The faceoffs were putrid without him, and
Yeah.
they're missing Halla too, who's an elite faceoff taker too. So that's something that's got to get corrected too. This is time for depth to step up. The depth hasn't been that good in January. It was really good early in the season, and then it slowed down as the big boys started to pick it up. I thought Jack Hughes was incredible in their last game. Good to see Timo Meyer on the board. I still can't believe he's not on the top power play unit full time at this point.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it goes. It's a big one tonight.
Yeah, it is a big one, and it's Metro Division points. We're beating a dead horse by saying it over and over and over again. But Metro Division points, they're the points you want to grab, and we've got to do it tonight. And I completely agree that the loss of Nico is a massive loss for this team. He's the heart and soul of this team. We've spoken before. Like, we've seen long stretches without Jack, and he seems to be the engine of this team. And then long stretches now without Nico. He's the heart and soul. He's your heart and soul guy. He's the guy that it may not seem like the loudest, most vocal person, but I feel like he goes out and does, one better than that, and he just leads by example. Just goes out and does his job, and does his job well. And his skill set, I think, is so irreplaceable at this point, to where we are gonna. He seems to be one of the most, if not the most indispensable person on this roster.
I think there are only 5 or 6 players in the NHL that can adequately replace what Nico Hischier does. Barkov, Kopitar, Couturier in his prime, I don't know about anymore. Obviously, Bergeron retired. Taves is not in the league. Those types of guys, though. William Karlsson in Vegas.
Yep.
He's injured right now, but I think him and Nico are very similar players. Hurdle in Vegas, also very similar to Nico. It's very tough to replace. Like I said, only 5 or 6, maybe 7 guys in the league that can do it at Nico's level. They're going to miss him, and I hope they're able to just tread water while he's out, come back from the Four Nations face-off. Thank goodness Switzerland isn't playing, because that would have been a real bummer. Next year with the Olympics, I'm sure he'll be doing what he can to play. But, there's an okay cushion here still, because currently sitting in the Eastern Conference, both teams in the wild card position right now, Boston and Tampa, they're in the Atlantic. So they can't catch the Devils in terms of the third spot in the Metro. The next team right below the line is the Columbus Blue Jackets, who have 55 points. They're 7 shy of the Devils. And then after that, it's Detroit, Montreal. Can't catch the Devils for third in the Metro because they're in the Atlantic. Then it's the New York Rangers, who have 10 fewer points than the Devils. So that just goes to show how well they played in November and December, because October was kind of mid, but then November and December, they were real good. And then January has been very average to below average. I want to say they have a better record in January than anyone would guess, though. I think people would guess they have like 2 wins this month. It's either 4-5-3 or 5-5-3. So if you're going to go through a slump, I guess that's the way to do it. And they've won 2 of their last 3. Hopefully they can make it 3 of their last 4 with a win here tonight. Phillies 23, 22, and 6. But the only team in the Metro Division that I think is like dead meat, 0% chance of catching the Devils is the Pittsburgh Penguins, which you really hate to see because 37-year-old Sidney Crosby's just lighting the league on fire and his team around him stinks and we don't get to watch playoff Sid. But, I mean, at the expense of the Devils, though, I wouldn't take it. So, just keep grinding it out, keep getting those points.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it sucks to not see Sid in the playoffs because he's, before you know it, we're going to lose players like Sid. We're going to be saying, oh, we're glad we saw him.
Totally.
But we are lucky that it seems to be, like you said, we still have that cushion. But, I hate to say it, but those Blue Jerks across the river every now and then playing well. The Devils really just have to start doing well. Start it with tonight. Get this win against the Flyers. I hate Philadelphia as a city. I hate the teams that play there. I've not been kicked out of a Philadelphia sports venue, but I'm sure it's happening at some point in the future.
Definitely.
there's fans, and then there's fans that are just easy to hate, and it's the Philadelphia fans. I
And
hate
speaking-
Ranger fans, but I just hate Philadelphia fans. Except, I guess, well, Sammy points out, except Bill Clement. Bill Clement's a whole nother story. Bill Clement's a legend of hockey.
I don't even
As far
think of
as we're
Philly when I
concerned
think of
here
Bill
at the Let's Go
Clement.
Devils.
I think of
I think his-
NHL, the video game.
I think of watching hockey in the warmer months of the year when I think of Bill Clement.
Yep.
It's Bill Clement and Eggblom or Gary Thorne. Bill Clement and Gary Thorne actually on the call, and you know it's playoff time.
Totally. Those were the
that's-
NHL
and-
announcers too.
And we've got Max here. He likes the Eagles. I guess he's okay. Max felt well. We found out Max is going to the Super Bowl, so
Wow, good for
it's
him.
good on
That's
Max.
exciting.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Before we
I guess
move
they don't have
on,
to grease. They don't have to grease flagpoles down. Oh, he's going to chug a beer.
oh, did you hear
There you go, Katie.
Oh, that was a good chug. That was a good chug. Someone
chug.
got
See,
someone got
Katie,
really hurt.
that's more impressive.
Yeah, that was a very, very good chug. There's no doubt. Before we get into predictions, there are two things I wanted to bring up to you. The first one is I know they're playing the Flyers, but when I think of the Flyers, I think of hatred. When I think of hatred, I think of the New York Rangers. Do you want a funny stat that makes fun of the New York Rangers, but it's very true?
Always.
Mikko Rantanen, Taylor Hall, Jack Drury, and Marty Necas were the 4 NHL players included in the three-way trade between the Chicago Blackhawks, Carolina Hurricanes, and Colorado Avalanche. All 4 of them got their first point with their new team against the New York Rangers.
They were so bad against the Canes. They were
So bad. They were terrible last night. And then the game against Colorado when Makar made the beautiful pass to Lehkonen, and they scored with like 8 seconds left to get the win in regulation. The Rangers get nothing.
Yeah.
That was incredible. And then the other thing I wanted to bring up to you, did you see the news about the Utah Hockey Club?
Yeah, we were just talking about that about 10, 15 minutes ago. They nixed one of the names, right?
Yes, they are out on the Yeti due to trademark issues.
Yes.
And now there are 3
we were
new
talking-
finalists.
Yeah, we were
Sticking
talking about
with
that.
the
I got
Utah
Max
Hockey
creeping.
Club.
I got Max creeping over my shoulder here.
He just wants more beer. He's fine. He's happy.
Yeah, he does. He just wants more beer.
They could either stick with the Utah Hockey Club, change it to the Utah Wasatch. I guess that's a mountain range in Utah. Or the Utah Mammoth. I'm underwhelmed.
Yeah, and I said this earlier when we were talking about it, I was really hoping for the Utah Super Soakers. That's just me.
That would be sick. I mean, you had the Supersonic. Why can't you go with the Super Soakers?
Seriously, a very niche kind of inside joke, but I think it would take the league by storm.
Totally.
Sammy, just don't. Oh, Sam. The Utah Mammoth. I wouldn't be shocked if that was the winner.
Yeah, same. And Clayton Keller basically spoiled that it was the Yeti last year, and now it's not because of this trademark issue. It's crazy. It's just interesting. Like the Golden Knights, that was a home run. The Kraken, that was a home run. And now Utah, they're struggling with this thing. So we'll see how it goes. And now is the portion of the show, Shorts Guy. What were you going to say?
Yeah. I was going to say, but at least Utah is doing it right and taking their time with it, not rushing it.
Yes, absolutely.
I will give it that.
Absolutely. And they're letting fans vote on these 3 names. So you could go vote if you want.
Which is what we did here in Jersey back in the 80s. I mean, I wasn't around for it, but,
yeah,
that's
totally.
what they did here in the state.
I'm happy where they landed with it with New Jersey for sure.
So am I.
It's very, very perfect. This is the portion of the show, Shorts Guy, where I encourage everybody to go into the YouTube chat right now and throw in their prediction for tonight's game between the New Jersey Devils and the Philadelphia Flyers. It is on TNT. We get to see the crew, Wayne Gretzky, Paul Bissonnette, Liam McHugh. I don't know if Anson Carter will be on. I'm sure he will. I love that panel. I could watch them talk hockey all day, and they do some funny stuff. So we'll see how that goes. But I want people to go in the chat right now, put your prediction. Shorts Guy, what do you think is going to happen in today's game between the Devils and the Flyers, who haven't won the Stanley Cup since the 70s?
Yeah, they haven't won in a while. The Devils haven't beat the Flyers in a while. Monday was not good. Max over here got to witness that game in person. Man, I'm just gonna throw this out there. I'm gonna say 5-0 Devils.
Wow.
Yeah,
Big bounce back would that would be.
big bounce back.
That would be sick. If they won 5-0, I think I would go insane. Like, I need them to win this game for the sake of
Oh,
the
yeah.
rest of my week. I think because they don't play till Sunday. Like, if I have to sit there and slop on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and the morning on Sunday, I think I'm literally gonna cry. Like, that's bad.
Oh, yeah.
I won't watch NHL Network on days they lose. If they win, I'll throw it on and just that'll be the background noise. But
Yeah.
it's when they lose, I don't want to hear about it. So as
Want
we
me
hear
to-
Max
while
is
he's-
ordering more
while-
food or more beer.
But
I
while
mean.
he's here, do you want me to get Max's prediction?
Yeah, let's get Max's
What's your prediction?
3-2.
3-2. 3-2 for
3-2.
Max.
That's a common one today.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
see
go
that.
into
I
the
see
chat
that.
a little bit. Where's Sam Wu? Oh yeah, Sam
Yeah,
Wu
we
took
got the
yours.
Sam.
He took yours and like made it even crazier. Sam
He
Wu
did.
believes-
There was another Samu style prediction from Joey B in the chat, or he was predicting for Samu. I don't know if Brooke Amanda's throwing her prediction in the chat.
Yeah,
Prediction?
you better get that done.
Yeah, I know.
Get that score in. Sam said that I'm hunkier in the chat, so thank you for thinking I'm hunky, Sam.
Hey.
Joey B says 5-1 Devils. Max says 3-2
Okay.
Devils with the new defense pairs that Sheldon Keefe is implementing into this game. Selectaboy talks about OV8 still chasing that Gretzky record. I can't wait for that day. Nobody understands that how excited I am for it. Let's see, getting back into the predictions. Brian believes 2-0 Devils. Caitlin says 4-2 Devils. Selectaboy says 3-2 Devils. Steve Engel, not reading that. Andrew says 3-1 with an empty net. Actually, I will read it because when Steve Engel predicts the Flyers, the Devils win. 4-2 Flyers, he says. So Steve Engel, the team's 28-18-6. It's like the second best Devils. It's like the second best Devils team since 2010. Like maybe third. It would be 2012 because you got to the Cup final. I don't care what the record was. You got to the Cup final. I think they were the 6th seed. So technically there were a couple teams better since then, standings wise. But you got to the Cup final, like I said, beat the Flyers en route. 2018 with Taylor Hall when he won the MVP. And then 2 years ago, 2022-23, the best record in Devils history. This is right up there with those. So, let's be a little positive here. Let's go get a win.
Yeah, seriously.
Andrew says 3-1 Devils with an empty net goal, so like a 2-1 game the whole time, and then throw one into the empty
All right.
net. Would love that.
I'll take it.
That's hockey. That's hockey to me. That is when you
to
win
me
the
too.
game
To me as
2-1,
well.
you throw one into the empty net. That's hockey. Joseph says 4-0 Devils. Joey B changed his. Oh, I see what he did. He did the 5-1, but then he said Devils 14, Flyers 3, signed Sam Wu. AJ Visco says 6-1 Devils. Eddie says 2-1 Devils, but not feeling too good about it. Come on. Let's go. Michael Rossi says 4-3 Devils. Jay Snow said this team is cheeks, which is wildly untrue. Again, 10 games over.
Hold on.
NHL 500.
I have to point this out. Joey B says it's going to be 4-4 in beers drank between Max and I, and a chug off in the chat.
In the third period.
Apparently, it's going to be 4-4 beers, you and I, and then a chug off for the winner. Now Max is looking for it.
In the third period, have that chug off.
And,
if they're especially if the
yeah,
game's
well,
tied.
I know how it's going to go too.
You've heard of Bucci overtime challenge? That's the shorts guy overtime challenge.
It's the shorts guy Max overtime challenge to chug a beer.
Yes, absolutely. So if they get to overtime,
Tom just verbally gave me his prediction of 3-2.
3-2. Thank you, Tom.
Why not?
Last year, if I remember correctly, Luke Hughes.
I love it.
Luke Hughes had an OTGWG against the Flyers last year, if I remember correctly. That's the game where him and Jack came down in a 2-on-1. So if they go to overtime, I always like their chances. And Sam wants us to point out that it is a very happy Chinese New Year. It is the year of the snake. I think I was born in the year of the dog. I would have to
I
go
don't know
back
what
and
I was
look.
born in.
I would have to. Every time I look, I say I'm going to remember, and then I don't remember. But
So Stephen Engel wants me to move so he can see Brooke, who's behind me. But if Stephen Engel wants me to move, I can move for a $500 super chat, and then I'll move right
Absolutely.
out of the way.
absolutely, absolutely,
Yeah,
definitely,
I gotta.
definitely a normal comment.
So Samu told me to stay put, but I know that Samu will be motivated by money. If there's a $500 super chat, I know Sam will support me moving.
Absolutely, absolutely. AJ Visco wants to know if we think that when Ovechkin breaks Gretzky's record, will they retire number 8 league wide as they did for Wayne Gretzky? I do not believe so.
I don't think so either. Gretzky was like
Transcendent.
Gretzky is up there when you. Yeah, Gretzky's up there when you think of players like Jackie Robinson, who at his 42 retired across baseball.
Yes.
Like players that
broke a color
completely changed
barrier.
they
Exactly.
changed the trajectory of your sport. Not just like a record. Like yeah, he's gonna like the Caps will retire it. I could see maybe the Russian Federation retiring number 8, but
If-
he did not change the trajectory of the sport. There's not even Crosby's number, nor will McDavid's number be retired wholesale like that. It's yeah.
If you
No.
if you erased every Ovechkin goal, he would have 709 career points because that's how many assists he have. That would be a respectable NHL career, having 709 points, right? Guess
Agreed.
what? If you erased every single one of Wayne Gretzky's goals, he would still be the NHL's all-time leading scorer. He has more assists than anybody else has points. He
It's
was
absurd.
different. And let's be honest, I love Ovechkin. I watch every Capitals game that I can get my hands on. I don't go out of my way to watch every single one like I do the Devils, but when the Caps are on, I watch them if I'm not busy. I love them. He wasn't better than Crosby. Crosby was a better overall player than Ovechkin. So you can't retire
No.
Gretzky's number league wide and not Crosby, not McDavid, right? Ovechkin was the best goal scorer of all time, not the best player of all time.
Yes. and not to downplay Gretzky's goal scoring ability, but Ovechkin's doing it in an era of stronger goaltending.
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
kind of the way I look at it as well. And I mean, I know of recent, a lot of his goals are empty netters, but
He
he's
only
doing
has
it
like
in,
3 more than Gretzky.
But
He
but
only
again,
has, like,
it's
3
the era.
more.
But it's the era of the goaltender that gets trained. Like there's goaltender training today. Like back when Gretzky was playing, like the kid who couldn't skate was thrown in net. The chubby
Absolutely.
kid was thrown in net. Like
Yes.
it wasn't like a skilled position. Like the skilled position started to come. When you got the more athletic goalies, like your Clint Malarchuk's going into net like that. Like that was kind of the beginning of like the goaltenders becoming better. But now goalies are trained and goalies are top athletes, some of the best skaters on the rink.
Without question.
Yeah, it's different. It's totally different.
They were smaller players in the 80s too. They would put the shorter guy, in the net too, and
Yeah.
he would be able to move. That was the point. But now we've elevated our thinking with hockey. We're like, oh, if you put the biggest guy in the team in net, he'll cover more of the net, and it's even better if they're are able to skate like the wind at that size, like a Vasilevsky, like a Shesterkin. All these
The
guys
first
are
one that
massive.
comes to me is Vasi.
Vasilevsky's huge. He covers the whole net. You have the size of the puck, which I don't know if you saw that goal that Connor Bedard scored the other day. It wasn't Vasilevsky in net, but he put one the size of the puck. If it was a centimeter bigger, the goalie would have made the save.
I know.
So that's
There
our
are so
chat
many,
on
there are
other
so many
teams.
maids. There's so many, and I'll finish this. There are so many saves that I made where I just got just enough of it just to push it in that direction or that direction.
Absolutely.
It
and
is,
that's what it takes.
Meadowlander just said it's the year of Jake the Snake. Sam Wu completely agrees. The year of Jake the Snake. The Girl Scouts don't. There is a Sam Wu heckling Girl Scout badge that's available. And I know Brooke is going to bring her Girl Scout troop somewhere so they can all earn that Samu heckling badge. Shorts guy versus Max in the chug. We've done that before, Joey B. We've done that before. But we both have to drive tonight, so Max and I can't be having too much of a chug off tonight. Wow. Joey B, thank you. Joey B's got a lot of confidence in me.
I do too. I like Max. I like Max, but he's definitely the underdog. That's the word I'm looking for. Only because he's not wearing a headset right now and you are. I hope everybody enjoyed watching the show today, Shorts Guy. Get in there and enjoy the game with everyone. American Whiskey looks incredible. I can't wait till I get back to American Whiskey. It seems like so much fun is to be had in there.
Sooner rather than later.
Absolutely. Get inside the rock and enjoy the game. Hopefully the New Jersey Devils pick up a win, and Sam Wu and Scotty of SiriusXM Liquid Metal can get you Devils After Dark after the game. Make sure you tune in and go to joinourcrew.com for all updates regarding the Let's Go Devils Podcast Network. For Shorts Guy, for Max, for everyone at American Whiskey, for the great Sam Wu. My name is Vinny Parisi.
I'm going to step out of the way here.
We got a chug from Max. And on the way out, we say, let's go Devils.